The arcade sensation comes home. This is it. The game everybody's been waiting for. Gauntlet, the most successful arcade game of all time, has come home. And it brings with it all the characters, dungeons, traps, treasures, and excitement you loved in the arcade. I don't know how much of that stands up anymore, but this is indeed Gauntlet from the good people over at Tengen. This is the first unlicensed game I think a lot of people were probably familiar with back in the day. This is a fantasy-themed hack and slash. It was released in the arcades in 1985 by Atari and is noted as being one of the first multiplayer dungeon-crawling arcade games. You can have up to 4 players playing at the same time in the arcade version and select them among playable fantasy-based characters. Thor the warrior, Merlin the wizard, Thyra the valkyrie, and Questor the elf. Each character has his or her own unique strengths and weaknesses. For example, the warrior is strongest in hand-to-hand combat, the wizard most powerful in magic, Valkyrie has the best armor, and the elf is the fastest to move. Upon selecting a playable character, the gameplay is set within a series of top-down, third-person perspective mazes where the object is to find and touch the designated exit in every level. An assortment of special items can be located in each level that increase players' characters' health, unlock doors, gain more points, and magical potions that can destroy all the enemies on screen. The enemies are a vast assortment of fantasy-based monsters, including ghosts, grunts, demons, lobbers, sorcerers, and thieves. Each enters the level through specific generators which can be destroyed. While there are no bosses in the game, the most dangerous enemy is Death, who can not only drain your character's health, but is difficult to destroy. Aside from having the ability to have 4 players at once, the game is also noted for the narrator's voice, which is produced by a Texas Instrument TMS 5220C speech chip. The narrator would frequently make statements repeating the game's rules, including, "Shots do not hurt other players, yet. Remember, don't shoot food. Elf shot the food. And warrior needs food badly." Occasionally, the narrator would praise or mock players in the thick of battle by saying, "I've not seen such bravery," or "Let's see you get out of here." A very memorable statement of the game occurred when a player's life force points fell below 200. "Your life force is running out. Elf needs food," or "Valkyrie is about to die." And that's all in the arcade version, by the way. Controversy came after the release of the game in the arcade and its subsequent port to the NES. Ed Logg, the creator of Asteroids and Centipede, is credited for the original game design of Gauntlet in the arcade version, as well as in the 1987 NES release. After its release, John Palovich, threatened a lawsuit asserting that the original concept for the game was from Dandy, later Dandy Dungeon, a game for the Atari 800 computer written by him in 1983. The conflict was settled without any suit being filed, with Atari Games doing business as Tengen, allegedly awarding Palovich a Gauntlet game machine. Logg is taken off this credit in versions subsequent to the 1987 release, while he is credited as special thanks through 1986. His name is entirely removed from the credits on later releases. Logg currently claims no involvement in the NES release. The game Dandy, which was the basis for the threatened lawsuit, was later reworked by Atari and republished for the Atari 2600, 7800, the XE as Dark Chambers in 1988, subsequent to the release of Gauntlet 2 in 1987. Due to its success in the arcades, it was ported to several home systems, including DOS, the Apple II, the Atari 8-bit, the MSX, the NES, the Atari Lynx, the Apple II GS, the Sega Master System, the Mega Drive, and Genesis, as Gauntlet 4, the Atari ST, the Commodore 64, the Amstrad CPC, and the ZX Spectrum. An emulated version was included in the Midway Arcade Treasures for the GameCube, PlayStation 2, Xbox, and Windows. For some machines, only Gauntlet 2 was converted since it was considered to be more advanced in the original. In 1990, Game Boy got Gauntlet 2. 16-bit conversions, the Atari ST and Mega Drive, had similar sound and graphics to the original and retained the 4-player mode. The NES version, however, was a departure from the arcade version, keeping only the basic game formula and cast of characters. 100 entirely new levels were constructed for this version, which added a definite quest. The goal was to retrieve the sacred orb located in the 100th level, which could only be accessed by collecting portions of a password hidden in certain clue rooms scattered through the first 99 levels. Power-up attributes that granted extra shot power and faster speed could be carried over from level to level, and a password system allowed the player to save their character's progress. The NES Gauntlet was one of only 3 Tengen cartridges to be released as officially licensed Nintendo cartridges, the others being Pac-Man and RBI Baseball. It was later released as an unlicensed game following Tengen's split from Nintendo. And, well, it's Gauntlet. I mean, what can you say? Who hasn't heard of Gauntlet or played of Gauntlet? It's developed quite a bit of a legacy and has a very, very good reputation. In fact, most places give it over 90% or 5 out of 5 stars or 4.5 out of 5 stars. It is a very fun game. It is very difficult, but it gives you good challenge, and it's worth playing. Get some friends and play it.